In a minute. Okay, I think we're live now. Oh, we are going live. We're not live yet. So wait a little more. All right, guys, we're live now. First speaker, proposition team, please begin.
Thank you, sir. Pain makes you stronger. Tears makes you braver. Heartbreak makes you wiser. So thank the past for a better future. Take one look at your Instagram feed and you'll see it. An abundance of smiling faces and enviable activities. Turn on the TV, open a magazine, glance at a billboard, and the results are the same. From ear to ear, grins to endless laughter. It's like the world is happy all the time, and yet that doesn't add up. Good morning to one and all. I, being the first speaker, fully concur with the motion, and my team at the end will make sure that the motion, which states that the people who always feel good cannot be sane, must stand. In the beginning, sane means they're free of mental illnesses and in a reasonable state of mind. And a person who does not feel any pain, any sorrow, can't ever be sane. He's suppressing basic human emotions. Negative emotions can make life better. Although most of us might prefer to feel happy all the time, research shows that negative feelings, while unpleasant, can sometimes be good for us. Anxiety and fear can protect us against potential threats. Guilt can motivate us to make amends when we've done something wrong, allowing us to preserve our most meaningful relationships. Even anger can be useful, and perhaps the most important lesson in all this research is that living a good life isn't just about being happy. It's about being authentically who we are, including pleasure and pain, happiness and sadness, love and conflict. If we felt happy all the time, we might end up missing opportunities to improve ourselves, fight for what we believe in, or engage in some of the most meaningful endeavors of our life. If you're too focused on becoming happier, it's going to backfire, says Sonja Lyubomirsky, PhD, a psychology professor. Numbing the pain for a while will make it worse when you finally feel it. Now, there's this idea out there that our emotions are positive or negative, but I think all our emotions are normal and adaptive and have a purpose or function. All emotions are normal. There is no such thing as positive or negative emotions. All play a vital role in our lives. And in the end, I would like to say that let's just stop putting on masks of all is well and always feel good, because a man is not human if he is not imperfect. Thank you.
Thank you. First speaker team, opposition, you got a minute to prepare. Also, this is something for all the speakers. Keep a watch at your chat box. So when your 3 minutes are over, I'll just type it in the chat box so as to not disturb anyone.
I'd like to begin.
All right.
Sometimes perspective is all that can make a difference. Good day to one and all present here. This is me, Vadvani, from the very proud team. 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. And today, I, being the first speaker from the opposition side, would be kickstarting the debate from our side and would be proving the motion to be false. To begin with, what is sane? Sane is of a person that is of sound mind or is not mad or mentally ill in the most simplest words. Also, it means that the person is reasonable or sensible. Now, before going ahead, let me tell you that a person who always feels good has their emotional quotient always high. Emotional quotient or EQ. They also know how to deal with adverse situations. People who always feel good, I repeat, know how to deal with adverse situations very well. Lastly, I would also like to state in this point that high resilience is what they contain, and that gives them the ability to cope up with situations. Next up, I think it's very possible for a sane person to believe or think that he or she is happy all the time. Just think, but with varying degrees. If you think you're happy, think again. It's much more likely for the insane person to constantly experience happiness with little, if any, apparent reason, and again with varying degrees that depend on the level of happiness. I repeat, that depend on the level of happiness being experienced, ranging from the lowest, least, and evolvingly leveled version of happiness, aka partially mid-like happiest. Moving ahead, let me tell you that it is very true that nobody is happy all the time. Nobody can be happy all the time. As far as I know, and even a research states that what you call happiness is merely a mechanical reaction arising out of getting one's own way, which is not invariably the case. People are more or less happy from time to time. Like I said, it depends on levels. Moving ahead, depending on the conditions too. They can't always get their own way or be continually satisfied. No one can be. It's no surprise that people enjoy being around positive people. Speaker one of the proposition side said that negativity helps us in life. Well, then let me quote a famous quote that happiness is contagious. Then let me tell you that negativity is also contagious. Also, I would like to get into this more later. Before that, let me tell you that taking the good and bad together may detoxify the bad experiences. That means good experiences take over the bad experiences, and positivity is all that helps. It allows you to make meaning out of them in a way that supports psychological well-being too. The researchers found negative emotions also most likely aid in our survival. Lastly, also I would like to say that poorly managed negative emotions are not good for your health. Negative attitudes and feelings of helplessness and hopelessness can create chronic stress, which upsets the body's hormone balance, depletes the brain chemicals required for happiness, and damages the immune system. Our team is here to prove that people who always feel good can be sane. Therefore, I would now like to conclude my therefore I would now like to conclude my speech by just saying that dealing with depression also helps us. Good experiences help us. Always looking to the negative side is not what is right. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Second speaker, team proposition, you got a minute. Your minute is over. Second speaker proposition.
Should I start?
Yes, please.
Both good and bad feelings are always subject to blink of an eye. A very famous quote by Michelle Bonnell. A very good morning to one and all present here today. I, being the second speaker from the opposition team, would strongly like to propose with the motion that people who always feel good cannot be sane. So people change, don't they? Their mindset changes, their perspective changes. They change with time, surrounding, consequences, and experiences. People change. Sir, I'd like to state that people always do not feel good about themselves. There are students. Let me quote an example of from the lockdown. Millions of students have been in depression from lockdown because it is very difficult to stay self motivated or to be happy about themselves. Happiness is momentary. Happiness can never last forever. It's just a state of mind, a perspective to go on with life. The first speaker stated that the first speaker stated that negative things do not help us and grow in life and all. Sir, I'd like to state from life experience, my life experience, that because of negative impacts on me and because of negative life experiences, here today I am debating. The platform which I have got is due to my sad experiences. I could have never been here because of thinking of being happy. Something happened in my life which I'm not disclose, but it was a sad part of my life through which I started debating. I came out of that phase. I came out as a strong person. Sad things help us to feel growing in life. Sir, one more thing I'd like to ask, that if sad perspective and sad mindsets wouldn't have been there, then what could have been the balance between the both? How would people understand the importance of happiness if sadness wasn't there? Sir, life is a topsy turvy road, not a straight road on which you can always experience happiness. The sad moments in life help us to grow and come out as a better person. We never stated that to stay in negativity and to be there. We never stated that be in depression, okay, go kill yourself and go do suicides. We never stated it. We always stated that a person does change, a mindset changes, the perspective of a person changes. A person cannot be good all the time. I cannot even find one person on earth who's been happy for like 24/7. There's no one, believe me. One, a very famous quote I'd also like to state, that there are a lot of tears behind those fake smiles. Ever imagined why? Because those sad moments make you feel growing in life. They make you feel that you're worth it of something. When I fell down to a level, I grew up with 10% more power because I know I could have done this. I know I could have got out of it. People cannot remain good always. People cannot be in a good mindset always. Happiness is momentary, as said earlier also. So sir, often the questions arise in our mind when we are going through a very sad phase, that why me? What happened? What did I do that this happened to me? There are a very good examples I'd like to state. I don't know if the opposition knows about a very famous lady known as Arunima Sinha, who's the Iron Lady of India. She has climbed eight highest mountains of the world. She has climbed Mount Everest with a prosthetic leg. Now, let me tell her life story. She was thrown onto a train just because she denied the fact that she did not want her gold chain to go. Thieves were snatching her gold chain. Just she put a hand on them and she wanted to restrict them from going. People were like a full group was there, so they threw them in like a train, and then her foot was cut the whole night. With her prosthetic leg, she climbed the Mount Everest. That is an inspirational story. She grew from her sad moments. So we need to realize that a person cannot be sad always. With this, I'd like to rest my case.
Thank you. Next speaker, you got a minute to prepare.
Thank you, sir.
Your minute is up.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
A very good afternoon to the respected adjudicators and my fellow debaters. This is Amita Reddy from the proud team 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. And today I'm here to present my views against the motion that people who always feel good cannot be sane. Why would feeling good make you insane? I mean, sane after all means not being mentally ill. So if you're feeling good in a real sense, then you're not mentally ill. It's as simple as that. Now, let me explain my statement further. People who feel good about themselves can be sane. In fact, they will be sane. Only when they are sane or don't have any kind of psychological issues, they feel good in a real sense. Now, having said that, let me tell you some of the features of an ill mind. Continuous thinking, negative thoughts, finding fault in everything, pessimistic attitude, worry and fear about future, regretting about past, and etc. So in any of these features, where is the concept of feeling good? Where is the concept of feeling sane? Everything is negative. So absence of these features make you feel good, make you feel sane. An absence of these features is nothing but the state of being sane. So both sane and feeling good go hand in hand. Without one, there is no other, hence proved. Now, one of the proposition speakers mentioned that negative emotions can be useful for us. Well, I think otherwise. Let me list some negative emotions for you: hatred, anger, jealousy, sadness, and so on. And as you mentioned, anxiousness. How exactly are these helpful for us? They often prevent us from facing our problems. It was also mentioned to not wear an all is well mask. Well, first of all, not everyone wears that mask. And second of all, if you are happy or feeling good in the real sense, then yes, you can, and I repeat, you can and are sane. Now, let me list some factors of feeling good: feeling happy, being stress free, being pessimistic, feeling hopeful, having motivation, and so on. Now, which of these, may I ask, suggest an ill mind? Which of these suggests that the person is not sane? I request the prop to answer this question. And with this, I end my speech by saying that the motion must and must fall. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me,
Last
sir.
speaker. Yeah.
Sir, I have a request. If the second speaker could please repeat her last point. There's some glitch with mine, and I would surely like to answer her question. So if she could please repeat what her question was, I'll be really grateful.
If you could do that, then go ahead, please. Amita.
Yes, sir. So now let me list some factors of feeling good: feeling happy, being stress-free, being optimistic, feeling hopeful, having motivation, and so on. Now, which of these, may I ask, suggest an ill mind, suggest that the person is not sane? I request the prop to answer these.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Thank you. Last speaker, team prop. You got a minute.
Sir, I am ready if I shall start.
Yeah, please go ahead.
A very good morning to everyone present here. Without wasting any further time, let me get started with the rebuts. Now, for the first speaker, sir, if they're always happy, if they're always experiencing happiness, how would they experience pain? Because pain and happiness are always coexisting. If you're always happy, you will be happy for say 3 months, but after that your happiness level, it will go down because you won't be experiencing sadness, so you won't know how good the situation you are in right now is. You will have nothing to compare it with. It's only if you've experienced sadness that you will enjoy the happiness which is there with you. Now, sir, you yourself said that we are never happy. Now, at that point, you're basically supporting us. So all of the further points which you mentioned, they were not of any use if you've completely agreed with us and the fact that we are always never happy, and if we are happy, we are not sane. Now, knowing how to react is what is important. Being happy all the time isn't isn't all that great, because see, if the situation is sad, say you've lost a very important family member of yours, if at that time you're happy all the time, you're basically saying all, you're basically stopping all of your feelings, you're basically blocking all of your feelings. Now what would that lead to is, you there'll be so many emotions in your mind that you won't know what to do with them. And if that blocking of emotions is what will make you sad further. Now at that time you are in denial, and if you're in denial you will feel happy, but when that layer of denial blows away, when that bubble bursts, then you will experience sadness. And if you don't experience sadness ever, then sir, you are not sane. You cannot be sane without experiencing sadness. It is a basic human emotion. If you're not experiencing sadness, a part of your brain isn't working, because sadness is there instilled in our brains. Now, how can you deny the research and the doctors all around the world who've studied, who've had so many works and have worked on it for hours? Just because you're in opposition does not mean you just have to say all of those studies are garbage, all of those studies are of no use. It's absolutely wrong. Now, so, sir, if you are happy after killing someone, that, as you said, we should always be happy. Let's take an example. If you're happy after killing someone, then, sir, that itself tells us that you are insane. What is generally seen is, in the courts of trial, whenever a person is tried, at the end, once he's given a certain punishment, if he is happy after that, if a person is given 25 years in jail after killing a few people, then that person, even after he has completed his sentence, he would still have an order that people should maintain distance from his because he is not sane, because he has not agreed to his mistake, because he is still happy after killing all those people and understanding how it had affected other people's life. Now, sir, let me get started with the second speaker. Ma'am, if we are sane, we will feel sadness, because we are not saying that we should always feel sad, but we should embrace the fact that it exists. Finally, ma'am, answering to your question, none of the emotions which you just said show that we are insane. It is the fact that we're only experiencing those emotions and not any other emotion is what makes us insane. Now, with that, I hope I've answered your question and I've completed my speech. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Last speaker, team opposition, you have a minute. Time's up. Last speaker.
Yes, I'll start.
So, a very good afternoon to one and all present over here. I'm Aryan Raja from the proud team 2 plus 2 is equal to 5, and I will be presenting my distinctive arguments opposing the motion that people who always feel good cannot be sane. Now, let's focus on argument number one. So, people who always feel good, have the positivity, have the good vibes, they can and they are sane. And as explained by the eminent speakers of my team, sane means not being mentally ill. Now, let me give you an example. Yes, all of us are over here qualified for round of 18, and we have the same feeling. We have the happy feeling. We have the well being attitude, and we are acting like a sane person. Are we acting like someone insane and someone ill minded? No. Now, and feeling good is a happy, joyful, and a feeling that only sane people experience. According to psychology, the perception of happy events within body closely, socially, physically, and mentally is the same and is for the same people. I repeat, is the same and is for same people. Now let's focus on argument number two. And eventually, as I stated, sane people are happy. Sane people have the positive attitude and mostly they neglect the negative things around them. And insane people, as all of us know, are mentally ill and they do not fall under the category of feeling happy. And insane people have the mindset of being unethical. Smile and laugh. Yes, it is the behavior trait of feeling good and for sane people. Now, before I move to my next argument, I would like to focus on some really important rebuttals. Speaker one of the proposition team said that negative emotions can make life better. Well, firstly, all of this falls in depression and anger, and it is not even an aspect of feeling good. Secondly, he stated that all emotions are normal. But, sir, I would like to ask, what about the emotions of depression? What about the emotions of suicidal feelings? What about the emotions of having a bad surrounding around you? Is it normal or is it dangerous? Now, speaker two of the proposition team focused on the sad and the other aspects and gave us many examples. But clearly, the motion states that the people who feel good, so the positive aspect which is coming to them cannot be for the mentally stable people. This is the motion according to you. And clearly, my first speaker stated that we have to focus on positive things. We have to focus on positive things rather than negative things. You contradicted his statement. Now, third speaker said that sane people and contradicted my first speaker, but I would like to state that he clearly stated that we are not always happy, and he said that we have to focus on the positive attitude. Now, argument number three. A report by psychologystudies.com states that when we feel good, we believe in ourselves, we focus on the practical aspect. But insane people, the people who are mentally unstable, focus on the wrong and the unethical way. Let me give you one main example. A sane person who, let's suppose, gets a good marks and has a good and positive feeling. He's feeling good. But an insane person, a person who is not mentally stable, will become aggressive, will become mad, will remove all of the good feeling factor from him. So that is the point over here. We can rightly see that there are n number of examples in which sane people focus on the positive sides, and these negative emotions, as rightly stated by the second speaker of my team, focus on all the disastrous hatred and all of the feelings that an ill-minded person will focus on. So lastly, I would like to state that, and we are eventually here for the second speaker of the proposition team, that we are not here to focus on the life stories. We are simply here to prove that feeling happy is there for sane people. And with this, the team 2 plus 2 equal to 5 come to a conclusion that the feeling good emotion is only there for sane people and not for insane people. Thank you.
Thank you. Uh, Please wait for like a couple of minutes patiently. I'm trying to collect the